Usually we use grid art to get inspiration. We use grid art to experiment. We use grid art as a tool to make our art. But what if this time we do it the other way around? What if this time we use our art to make grid? I'll show you how in this video. Okay, that's why I'm not starting with a grid on the paper, because we're going to use art as a grid, so not a grid as art. So it's going to be a blank sheet of paper, and now we can make art. And if art making feels really daunting, because yeah, to me and to maybe a lot of you that sometimes is, I'm actually not going to make an attempt to make real art because the grid is going to be my art. I'm just going to have some fun and play. I have different kinds of materials, and I'll just start off with a pencil. This is actually a blue one. Didn't think of it before. Didn't even choose my color palette. I am just going to fun and play. And now my sheet isn't white anymore, and I guess since I'm using blue, another blue, this is something I mixed for a previous project, so this is really good to get rid of all my leftovers. I actually like leftovers for projects like this. Oh, and the pencil I use is a Stabilo All, so I am blending it out with the paint. Let's see. Starting off light, so I'm doing this greenish color too. Nope. Looks lovely together. Looks really dull together, but that's for a different lesson. So I need to spice things up and make it a bit darker. I can't tell you what this used to be. I think there's some green, blue, burnt umber. That's what it looks like. I start to blend the colors a bit because I'm moving across the same page when the colors are still wet. Actually not trying to make anything pretty, just having fun. That makes it a warm-up too, because I'm getting inspired for future projects too. Because when I start to think of the end result right now, I'll probably get stuck. So what would be fun? Ooh, I know what would be fun. Probably my paint wasn't wet enough. No, but if I spritz over there and let a drop of paint fall there. Some golden. Ha! This one I haven't used in a long time, apparently. Would be a fun project, but it's not working. I'll just grab another color. And as you see, I am using a lot of desaturated colors. So a lot of colors that were mixed with black, white, or raw umber. They weren't really straight out of the tube. You could do that, but the fun thing with doing this is that if I want to make some contrast, and I think I will in a bit, I think I'll just first add some white to the mix. Let's see if I have some white here. Spreading the white around, because you do also need white in your pictures or your art to give it some room and some air. But since I'm moving it around, it's not really white anymore, and I don't like it anymore. I'll add some white later, and not with this method. See, I'm learning something while I'm doing. That's why I love art. It's a constant learning process. I'll add white. I don't know if it's fun to watch me play. You could actually, for this exercise, you could also take a piece of art you already made, you're not madly in love with, to make it into a grid. Let me see, I like this color palette, but again, I want to spice it up. What colors should I choose? I'm always choosing pinks, so maybe I shouldn't choose pink this time. Oh, orange would look lovely. Or just blue or green. I'll take an orange. It's not dry yet, but no, it's not working when it's not dry. So I am getting my hair dry to dry things. But I'll turn off the noise for you. It's not yet totally dry, but dry enough, because I changed my mind. I'm not going to use the paint stick. I'm going to use crayon. It's my Neo Color 1 or my 2. I'll just try start off with my 2. And you immediately see what happens when I'm adding this straight out of tube color. I mean, this is not a tube. I know this is just a crayon, but all the other colors were mixed and muted, and this is a vibrant color, and you immediately see the difference. You immediately see it jump out. So that's fun. Makes it more interesting. I said I was going to use some white. I'll just do a little white with my fingers. Why should you buy paintbrushes if you have a finger that comes with you totally for free? Just giving it some more air and some more contrast. That's why the white is here. And again, have to let it dry a bit. Actually, I'm going to close off the jars here when I'm on a blow dryer to get dried out too. So, okay, and now it's like, how am I going to make that grid? I said I was going to make a grid, and there's no grid inside over here. Well, we are not going to take things off. We are actually going to find the nice pieces, the nice looking part of this playful art piece. And something that you could use if you work like really large, I'm not working too large, but is this. Belongs to a photo frame, and if you move across the page, you might see pieces you like, because we weren't thinking of composition, but if you move it around, you might see a composition you like. and this could be your finished artwork. But I wasn't planning on making a finished artwork. I was planning on doing a grid. And if you haven't had a large sheet of paper, you could use this, but I want to stick it in my sketchbook, so this is too large. And I want to make a viewfinder, and that's actually pretty easy. I just have those two, and I can just move it around to make the grid the size I want it to have, and move it around and find the nice pieces, see which one I want to have, and cut them out. But you know me, if I do this, I start to overthink, and it's definitely not going my way, so I need another solution. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to get my squares out, and I could use my scissors to do so. Probably you will. But I'm feeling lazy today, so I am not. I am going to grab something that's going to make my life a lot easier. I have a lot of these punches, and these punches I use when I'm making my paper patchwork. If you don't know what paper patchwork is, check out my other videos or my Skillshare class. I'll just link it below. And you can make those perfect squares and then make a patchwork out of paper instead of textiles. But they're perfect for this too. And usually, I know, I don't want things to be perfect. I don't want things to be like it's well thought of. I just want things to move organically. So it's better for me to use scissors and not make them perfect squares. But I want to have that element of surprise, not knowing which pieces I'm going to cut out. So I am grabbing this, and I'm just going to... It's stuck? Yeah, there it is. Punch it. For some reason it's stuck. Of course it's stuck. I'm filming for you, it's stuck. Usually this is my helpful companion. Maybe because the paint is still a bit wet. Or the paper is just too thin. I'm just doing it like this then. See if that will work. Yes, that works. Immediately got two because I don't know what I'm punching out at the back. Well, not even the front because I'm not paying attention. Possible to get one here? Yes. Okay, well, then just keep on going. Take this last bit. Okay. I have a lot of squares. And you see, some of them actually look interesting. They got a composition of their own. So as an individual, they look really nice. But what if we combine them and we make them into a grid? Let's put these aside. Because it's so full. I am getting this down. And I am going to try the pieces I like. Or maybe I'm not thinking of which ones I like. Maybe I do. Placing them down, actually like a darker color next to the lighter color, makes it more interesting. And these are just halves. Ooh, there's a surprise one over here. And yes, I'm thinking a bit over here because I don't want the lines to actually connect. Or, well, it could be fun actually to make a connection, make the new line. I think I just want this, and I don't want this side with this side, because then you have two light sides and I want to have the darker sides connected. I could do this, but then these and these are dark too. So this could be the puzzle. But puzzle, just because puzzling could be fun. Just puzzle away and see what works for you. And if you find the composition you actually liked, you just grab your handy dandy trustworthy glue stick that will get you through everything, and just go and stick them down. And you see what happens. I'm just forming a grid right now. And the fun thing is, this is a grid that I didn't think of before, and I didn't make it as a grid. I made it in an art session, or yes, well, it's an art session. I was making art, I was playing. Maybe not a conscious, perfect art session, but again, who likes perfect? I like this small orange dot over there. There's little surprises. And I think this is one of my favorites. For some reason the composition works. I should want to add a little black piece if this is going to be my small little standalone square or artwork. But since I'm combining it, no, I'm placing this on this side. Otherwise I'm missing the orange. But since I'm combining it, I am not looking at the individual art pieces like we do at the end of the usual grid art technique. No, now I'm looking at these pieces like they're a whole. I see how they work together. So my grid actually becomes, now I'm turning it around, becomes a piece of art of itself. So look at this. This is your grid art made without a grid as a starting point, but I still think it's absolutely lovely. And sometimes what I do if I like this, sometimes I even frame this if I like the end result, because it could be really fun. But if I'm doing this in my sketchbook, a lot of times I am grabbing this, looking at the date today, it's the 16th. I am going to 16th, and so this is for reference, and I see what I did today, because my sketchbook is not only my sketchbook, my art place, but it's also my journal. See, I think I've got some more in here. Well, not these, but see, this is grid art too, and it's totally different. Some more, yes, I have some more grids. Some more grids too. How fun. I made this as a grid. They're fun to look at, but I look at the individual pieces. And with this one, I look at it as a whole. So I think this experiment, check, has been a success. I can't wait to see your finished results. So tag me on Instagram or send it to me. And I'm curious if you are willing to make a grid art just the other way around. And if you like this grid, my other grids, or my other creative videos, please subscribe to this channel and you will see my upcoming videos. And of course, give me a thumbs up. Not only because you like this video, but also because when you give a lot of thumbs up, other people will see my videos too. And I think a lot of people can benefit these creative, fun exercises. Hope to see you next time.